Hey there, Mando Fandos, I'm Greg Elliott, and thank you for coming to Screen Rant. Chapter 5 of The Mandalorian brought us back to Tatooine, the first time we've seen it since the prequel trilogy, and we now know a bit more about what's happened there since Luke and the Empire left it. When we first saw Tatooine in Star Wars: A New Hope, Luke called it one of the most remote planets in the galaxy, describing it like this.
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
That said, Tatooine has since become one of the most important and well-known worlds of the Star Wars franchise, but the events of Return of the Jedi left things there a little messy though when the Hutt cartel was overthrown after Leia killed Jabba. The canon Aftermath novels set in the years between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens make it known that gangs briefly attempted to take over after Jabba's death, but they were driven back by the locals. So, Episode 5 sees our Mando and little baby Yoda head to Tatooine and shines a light on what's happened there after the Galactic Civil War finally came to an end. It hints that Jabba's death and the Empire's defeat has made it decline even further, meaning that the planet of the Double Suns is even more remote now than ever before. So here's everything we know about the current status of Tatooine. The Mandalorian heads to Tatooine because he needs a safe place to hide out, because he knows that the Bounty Hunters Guild no longer has a presence there. Now this says a lot because it confirms that the Hutt cartel or any other crime organizations have left, so in theory it's a good place to lay low. Under the Hutts, Mos Eisley was actually doing pretty well. As Tatooine's main spaceport, it was a hive of criminal activity, and the Cantina was the place where the galaxy's shadiest pilots, smugglers, and bounty hunters would hang out. But with the Hutts now gone, none of those guys have any reason to go there anymore, and Mos Eisley is getting kinda shabby. The Cantina is even run by an EV-9D9 droid now, possibly the same one that served at Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi, which shows you just how much things have changed considering the Cantina had a no droids policy in the earlier Star Wars films.
We don't serve their kind here.
What?
Okay, remember that ominous shot of the stormtroopers' helmets on pikes? Well, that was in the first trailers for the show, and we now know that that's on Tatooine, which is a little interesting because although we did see stormtroopers briefly riding dewbacks there in A New Hope, the Empire never really had much of a presence there since the Hutts controlled things. So this means that Imperial forces arrived on Tatooine sometime after Jabba's death. Now it might have been an Imperial outpost or maybe just some warlord trying to hide from the New Republic, but either way, we know that the Empire is definitely not welcome on Tatooine, and the locals can clearly take care of themselves. It's also worth mentioning that Peli Motto accepts payment from the Mandalorian in Imperial credits. Now maybe it's just her, but back in the Phantom Menace, Watto said that galactic currencies are worthless on Tatooine, so it appears that things have changed in the decades that followed. So the big question is whether or not the Empire is still on Tatooine. It's so remote that an Imperial outpost or settlement could likely go unnoticed by the New Republic, even though the locals clearly aren't fans. But the appearance of Fennec Shand suggests that there might be traces of the Empire left there. She claimed to be making a rendezvous at Mos Espa. That's where the pod races took place in the Phantom Menace, and since the New Republic had arrested all of her previous employers, the only people that might still hire her could be some Imperial remnant there. I'm sure we'll find out more about Tatooine and what's going on there as the show continues, so make sure to keep checking back with us to stay in the loop on all things The Mandalorian. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Greg Elliott, and I'll see you next time. Peace.